Joe Blow, they can take me out next year. Don't make me vote on these things. Don't make me vote on these things. And they won't. And we will begin to stop the garbage that's been going on in California. And 2 years from now, when we have an election with fair redistricting, we are going to have an opportunity to gain a majority of conservatives in at least one of the houses of the legislature, or so close that we're going to be able to scare the hell out of those guys and gals. And I believe that wholeheartedly. The fact that you folks are here for 6 hours to listen to me go on with all of this stuff, that you folks are asking questions that are incredible, that you folks have already done so many of the things that are here. I hope you realize that all of the things that you've listened to, that you say, I know that, but that's why it works. That's why we can work together. This is what we can do, not what we're being told to do. This is what we can do to be effective. And that's something that I want to be a part of. And it's worth it for this country and this state. And we can't take it back. And it'll be so much fun. And one of these days, we'll throw one big party that will truly be fun to celebrate some of the victories. And it's right there ready for us to take. Any final questions? I know I'm already late. Yes?
I'd just like to say one thing. I've been thinking, my mind stayed on San Francisco close. And,
I'm sorry.
I know. But I'm thinking to myself, think about this. You said there's 7%, there's only 7% that vote against it. Those 7% might be a large amount of people to win some other district. They might be plenty willing to contribute to some other place because they could change the face of California without having to fight over it they couldn't win.
Absolutely, and let me tell you this. There are residents in Nancy Pelosi's district who are members of Tea Parties in the Bay Area because they want to have an influence. They know that they can't defeat her, but they want to play a role in taking America and California back. And that's why they're being active. That's why I think we have an amazing opportunity that's there for us to grasp. This isn't just a rah-rah, sis-boom-bah cheerleading session. This is real, honest-to-goodness stuff that we are planning on, that we are working on with very real plans. We've got some financial resources. We're going to leverage some other resources with people from other organizations that understand the dream, what we want to accomplish. And we're going to give them money to buy all of the precinct sheets and organize them, computerize them, make them easy for us to use. So that from our home, if you want to volunteer and make 10 or 100 phone calls and just ask the survey. And then generate, return those things to a central point here, and then we collect them and we turn those things into votes. Folks, there are thousands of people like you who want to have an impact. And with thousands of people, we could completely cover the districts that we're talking about. Yes?
Well, there was something that came to my mind while you were talking. You mentioned that a few votes make a big difference. You also mentioned that the humanists I have this idea that the end justifies the means. And that makes me think that voter fraud is really a key issue. And I think about the voting machines, and I think about the absentee ballot. I don't know anything about it, but it seems to me that there's a big potential there for voter fraud. I would like to get more involved.
Let's do this though. Let's do this. Let's participate in the elections so that we make them close enough so that we have to worry about that. Right now, we're getting our clocks cleaned in these places. They're not stealing them. We're losing them because we're not fighting. But that'll be definitely. We're not going to be stupid. This is not a room of dumb people, And the other people like you, they're going to be a part of looking out for all of our interests. Yes.
You said you would make recommendations.
Okay, let me tell you. Well, first, the other question that was over here.
Well, it has a little bit to do about Proposition 14 that passed. I think it was 14 about primary elections, where is that going to affect the strategy that you're?
I think that both parties are going to work very hard to defeat that. If they don't defeat it in court, they're going to work very hard to defeat it. I think it's a detrimental thing. to achieving freedom. Let me tell you my position on leg women. I am not afraid to vote for a third-party candidate, although I do it with the full knowledge that that means that I am not participating in that election. Okay? I have to tell you, I didn't vote for Arnold Schwarzenegger when he won ever. But if you're not going to vote in that election, understand that you are not influencing it. You have Jerry Brown, all you know. He destroyed the state of California. His father started to build the highway system. We started to plan for the future. We had road construction. We had school construction. They knew that California was so beautiful that people were going to come. Ronald Reagan kept it going, tried to do it with a responsible budget. He even raised taxes to keep it going. Jerry Brown came up with the attitude of, if we stop building it, they won't come. So he stopped all of the infrastructure development in the state of California. That included dams, highways, bridges, everything. Adriana Gianturco, for those who remember, her transportation secretary. Roseburg, Cruz Reynoso, the people, the Supreme Court justices. And understand, those 3 justices that were defeated, there has never been Supreme Court justices that have been defeated in an election in California. 3 of them like that ever. Gun Owners California and Law and Order Campaign Committee led the effort to do that. Senator Richardson got them done. It had never happened before. They didn't think it could happen, but we did. With the same type of organization that you guys are doing right now. You don't think we can do things as a minority? Senator Richardson never served with a majority. He was always in the minority party. He had the death penalty reinstituted in California with Jerry Brown as governor. Jerry Brown vetoed the bill, and Senator Richardson was able to create so much pressure that the legislature had to overturn Jerry Brown's veto. The strongest anti-child molestation laws, the strongest anti-drug laws. Senator Richardson only passed like 5 or 6 bills in the 22 years he was there. Most of the time he was fighting to kill everything. The preemption law on firearms, he passed. The Castle Doctrine on defending your own home, he passed with a Democrat majority. Because he was willing to put this pressure and kick tail and take names and do it with a smile in the best Christian sense he could. So we can do it as a minority with the goal of becoming a majority. But with a minority of activists, we can capture the system so we will be in charge. And once we're in charge, and there's a new sheriff in town, things are different. And we then our work really begins. Any other questions? I know it's been like, yes. Oh yeah, Meg. Listen, Meg, I talked about Meg. Meg is one of those CEOs who was a billionaire, a very good business lady, who thinks she can fix the state of California like a business person. Unfortunately, the reality is that if that's the mentality she has, the Democrats are far more entrenched and stronger than she thinks she is, and they will stop her unless we take control of the legislature and tell her how we want her to run the state. We will never have that ability with Jerry Brown. Okay? We will never have that ability. Ever. He is a leftist. He's a massive attention deficit disorder, active, white leftist. So with Meg, the difference is that if we take over the legislature, we can tell her what we want to do because we will be sending the bills to her. If Jerry's there, that's not the situation. That's the practicality. I mean, you may feel strong enough to say there's no way in the world I can support Meg Whitman, period. She's going to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And if we don't fight and take over the legislature, she will be. Because she'll be working with the Democrats. But if our plan, if we are confident that we're going to make some inroads in this election and next election, then we're better off with having her there because then we can dictate to her how she's going to roll. Okay? So that's the practicality.
And the end run, the final goal, we have to take a look at what you really want to accomplish. And if you waste your vote on a third party, and you will elect Jerry Brown, and we cannot afford that for another 8 years.
You know?
We tore our state apart.
You're absolutely right, but this is one of those situations where I don't feel that it's right for me to tell people who have been so committed and have that if this is a decision that you're going to have to make with your own brain as well as your heart.
It's kind of like a spotted owl.
Right.
Just like chicken.
Yeah, exactly. Use your brain, use your heart. Whichever one guides you, the Lord leads you in a particular way, do that. But I'll tell you what, I have a plan with your leadership, those people that I've been talking to, of taking over the joint so that we can tell whoever the governor is what to do. And if it's Meg Whitman, she'll be doing it. Okay? God bless you. Thank you for coming. Please make sure I have your names and addresses and all of that stuff down there.
Hey, you guys, for all those of you that are from outside the Chico Tea Party, who are the Chico Tea Party people? Thank you. We thank you.
Where's Oroville folks? There were some Oroville folks? Yeah. And Paradise and some other folks?
Like then, like,
And of course the Redmond folks?
gotta come, if you want to see it again, come on the 28th.
Red Club,
You know?
Red Club, all we see
If you're gonna come to yours, you come to ours.
Morning. Good. You see, we're going to take over this country one way or another. God bless you all. Thank you very much for coming.